Hey, thank you for checking out Fast Eddie's Chop Shop. Here you have every right to be wrong, and I'm going to break it down for you. Interesting book came out, I think, 1968, Population Bomb. Growing up, all you ever heard was, overpopulation. There's not going to be enough food. We're in trouble. We need to have less kids. It really that book. It's called Population Bomb. Changed the world. And I think at some point I'm going to do a deep dive. The author, who paid him, because things like this, guys, whether you want to believe it or not, things like this are propagated. They're watered, they're planted, they're groomed. Oh, wait, did I say a bad word? No, because it had totally different meaning. Because Lord knows, I know that I can't call certain people what they really are, or videos can get taken down. It's hilarious. That's how messed up we are. And that's how, by the way, how easily controlled we are. So this book comes out, and again, I think it's 1968, Population Bomb. All of a sudden, for years, headlong, everybody's, got to get the population down, got to get the population down. Now, pay attention, everybody's going, oh my God, we're population, we're in trouble. Now, I tend to believe that one, but what I want to talk about is how easily we are manipulated and controlled. And ask yourself, why is it that you bother to listen to one darn thing they say ever? Why? Remember growing up? Remember the food pyramid? Turns out they're talking now how wrong it is. Remember eggs? Man, I stopped eating eggs for a long time, man. Just horrible for you. Now, everywhere I look, it's, man, eat more eggs. They're great. My father, shout out to Dad, you're watching this. He has a couple of great lines about diet. If it wasn't around 100 years ago, now he's been saying that around a while, so let's say 120 years, don't eat it. If it didn't exist 120 years ago, don't eat it. And if it still exists, eat it in its original form from 120 years ago. Meaning, they had potato chips back then, but what did they fry them in? And second law of Fast Eddie Sr. is everything in moderation. It's okay to have a Twinkie in moderation. It's okay to eat a steak. It's okay to eat eggs. It's okay to eat broccoli. It's okay to eat some of the more horrible stuff for you. Ice cream's okay. In moderation. Everything in moderation. Anyway, think of all the things. Think of all the pills over the last 100 years that were good for you and did something beneficial, only to find out that it wasn't. Did you know that pharmaceutical companies get special protection from the government against lawsuits? If you want a little more stability in what they're producing and asking you to stick in your body, why doesn't the government take away those protections? See, the reason the protections are there seems to make a little sense. Well, if you're experimenting, you're trying to come up with something, cure cancer, you don't want them to get sued out of an existence for a mistake. Okay, then how about figuring out some way that, you've got one or two mulligans and they need to be fairly small. Otherwise, you do get sued out of existence. Just think. All I'm asking for anybody watching this video, and again, Listen, I'm hard to find. I was talking to someone. I was really hard to find, and they watch this religiously. I'm I'm being shadow banned hard, so I need your help. But you know what? Regardless, send this stuff to people that don't think like you. Maybe, just maybe, we're gonna tap someone on the brain, and the lights are gonna go on. And I'm telling, if you agree with me, don't agree with me. And if you don't agree with me, think harder. I want you to think back to all the things in your life that you were told were either true or false, and then you come to find out later on the back page, the last line of the newspaper, they asked for an apology and corrected an error. It happens all the time. So, population bomb, they were wrong, and now we're in trouble. Now, I'm no sociologist, and I don't know how to map the entire existence of the human race, but I do understand the concept. And so I can break it down for you real simple. Is we have a heavy aging population. The average woman is only having 1.6 kids to herself. Now remember, ladies about half the population. So 2 people are now being replaced with 1.6. Therefore, you have an aging population that the middle folks won't be able to take care of. And give it another, we're already on the path. But every year, every decade, and if you're younger, listen to this, the chickens will come home to roost on you when you're older. It's absolutely evil. And the hidden societies and the folks that nobody likes to talk about, all the underground folks, the people who, the puppet masters that, roll out to Davos every year and Bohemian Grove and have their weird secret meetings, they want this because they have enough money to get through the real bad part. To get to that, I think it's 500 million people that they want on Earth. If you look at the human population, as population boomed, the poverty rate dropped dramatically, meaning there is a direct correlation between booming population and lowering poverty rates. Our world is designed to grow. If you watch the Bible, God said, be fruitful and multiply. That's a principle that he built into the planet. I happen to believe that. If you don't, just view it as a principle that happens to be true. As we go forth and multiply, things get better. When we stop having babies, things don't. And everything that they're doing is telling you, don't get married. If you happen to get knocked up, just run on down to the local clinic and get it taken care of. It's not a human being. We've been fools long enough. And when are we going to learn our lesson? That pretty much every time they speak, the exact opposite is true. They tell you Orange Man bad. They tell you this little, shot of paradise is great. It's just view everything they say. And if you look at patterns, if everything was boiled down to money and you bet the opposite of everything they ever said, you would be the richest person on earth in the history of Earth. So anyway, rambling a little bit tonight. Just thought about that. At some point I'll do a deeper dive on who wrote Population Bomb, who paid for it, who's behind it. Have a good one. Have a great night. Let me know what you think, okay?